My wife is disappearing in front of my eyes and I don't know how much more I can take. Throwaway account, title kind of says it all really. My, 38M, wife, 34F, and I have been together for 18 years, married 3 months ago and I don't know what to do. We've lived together for 10 years and have 3 children, 6M, 4F and 2F. For at least the last year I have cooked every meal, washed everyone's clothes, done all the housework, paid all the bills and done everything with our kids from homework to bed times. I was away in October for one night and it was the first time in an entire year she'd had to do a bedtime with them. I don't ask a lot in return for doing everything in the house, just some help and some appreciation, but even that's too much effort for her. She doesn't even make cups of coffee or fetch things from other rooms. Recently my aunt has been diagnosed with cancer. They're still doing the work to find out exactly what cancer it is, what stage it is and what they can do for her. I grew up extremely close to my family, so this is adding a big mental strain to my already overloaded brain. It's also resurfacing feelings from losing other family members. A typical weekday starts at around 6:30 a.m. when I get up with the kids, make them breakfast, sort out their lunches, get them washed and dressed, then get them out the door for around 8 a.m. By the time I return from the school run at 9, my wife still hasn't moved from bed. I work from home and my schedule is quite flexible, so I usually work from 9 a.m. to around 11:30 when I have to pick one of the girls up from nursery. I then come back, work through until around 2:45 when I go to pick up my son from school. After everyone is home, I cook for everyone, play with the kids and get them ready for bed. I take the girls up to bed around 7 p.m. and my son stays up until 8 p.m. but he goes on his own. There are also specific weekday activities to fit into this as well, swimming lessons etc., so I spend a lot of time I should be working looking after the kids, meaning I often have to carry on after they've gone to bed to get caught up. At some point my wife will come downstairs and sit on the sofa. She'll stay there until it's time for bed again, only getting up if she needs to use the bathroom. I often stop multiple times through the day to make coffee, prepare food for lunch etc. Things have taken a downward turn. I didn't think things could get much worse, but I was wrong, since we got married. A few weeks before the wedding, she started playing a game on her phone. This game, along with the social aspect of it on Discord and WhatsApp, has completely taken over her life. She will spend as much as 16 to 20 hours a day on her phone either playing or talking about this game. On top of this, she's sunk a lot of money into it. It must be into the thousands by now. I don't mind what she spends her money on, it's hers, but I pay for everything. Every single bill comes out of my salary. After all bills are paid, I'm left with quite literally nothing. I haven't bought anything for myself in months because I have no money left. We've had multiple arguments and her family know about this and have told her to sort it out, but the more people tell her, the more stubborn she becomes. I've tried getting angry, being kind, I just don't know how to get through to her. The kids draw pictures for me, but never for her. They don't ask her to do anything for them or show her anything. Even the school have started reminding our son to read to dad. Honestly, if it were the other way around I'd be mortified and so ashamed, but she just gets angry at people for getting on at her. We managed to get her to go see a doctor about it and she went in and just told them how tired she is all the time, which is no wonder when she spends so much time in front of her phone, so she's displaying classic addict behaviors now. I'm at the end of my rope, I just can't deal with this and everything else I have going on. Apologies for such a long post, but I have to get all of this out of my head in the hope it'll help. I'm not really looking for advice, I've sort of resigned myself to the fact she needs to realize she's got a problem, but nobody can force her to do that. I just have to do what I can to make sure my kids' needs are met. ETA. I did say I'm not looking for advice and the nasty comments really aren't welcome. A lot of people asked why I married her. It's a fair question, but it's something we've been talking about for years and things weren't this bad until after the wedding. For those who are saying divorce or separation, that's just not how marriage works. You can't just leave because things aren't perfect, the vow is in sickness and in health. Her brother has been around and had a long chat with her, just the two of them this evening, and he's been able to get to the root of some of the problems. We have a plan on how the whole family can pull together and help, but we're only going to do it on the condition that she has to want to help herself. If there are any signs she's not going to work at this, they've all said they'll stop. In terms of mental health, I think a lot of people are right that it's depression. She does have a prescription for sertraline, but she's terrible at remembering to take medication. This is something I'm going to do to make sure she takes it every single day. She's also having a blood test on Monday and they're checking thyroid, hormones etc., so maybe we'll have some answers after Christmas. Further edit, thank you to everyone who left a comment, it definitely helped me realize that what I'm feeling is valid and I'm not an a-hole for being angry about the situation. Unfortunately, I'm not the best at dealing with issues, I often bottle things up and then explode, so that's something I need to work on myself. A lot of people seem to be hung up on the age we started dating. I was 19 and she was 16. We met online, and while the age of consent in the UK is 16, nothing like that happened between us until she was over 18. We lived 2 hours apart, and when I went to uni it put even more distance between us. During the talk with her brother, she said a lot of the problem is the state of our house. We bought this house in a pretty bad state and we've been trying to fix it up as we go, but time and money are always a problem. Their dad is very handy, so he's agreed to help fix up a lot of things, and her mum has agreed to help us sort out our stuff, to declutter, etc. I'm not 100% sure this is really the problem, but once we've managed to get the house looking nicer, we'll see what comes next. I probably won't be updating this post anymore, but thank you to those who gave advice and support. I'm definitely not a saint, and I don't think anything I'm doing is really going beyond being a parent. I think I need to put myself first a little more and do things away from everyone to recharge.